Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Hacker Factory. In this session, we are going to discuss about the domain history enumeration or how you guys can identify the information from a website or a domain and what kind of information you guys can identify. So, before going on to the tools and techniques, let me ask you one question, or I just want to let you know that why do we need this information. So in my previous video or a session, I have I have asked the same question, and my answer was we need we need this information for our red team assessment or a black box testing, right? On the basis of this information, when you perform a red team or a black box testing, you have to perform advanced attack techniques by using this information, right? So that's why we need this kind of information. So here I have just write some of the tools on my screen. That is, there is a robtex.com. This is a website from where you can gather information about the target, or any target can be a website, right? Or anything that is that for that you want information. There is a who.is. This one is also a popular website. There is a netcraft and whatweb. So whatweb is a command line tool which is in your Kali Linux. And then we have some add-ons or extensions that you guys can install in your web browser. So there is a webalizer, and we have also web developer. So these are the tools that will use and that will helpful for you to gather information from any website or a domain, right? So let's start with the tools or techniques that how we can identify the information related to any website. So we have first with the robtex.com. So you can just go to the browser and write here robtex.com, right, and hit enter. And this one is the application, right? Here what you can gather information. There is already a manual of this website, that why we need and what is the usage of robtex used for, right? What can we do with the robtex, or what kind of information you guys can identify. Like here you guys can see it will include your host name, DNS records, mail exchanger, right? And it will also try to find out information from the registered domain in various whois database. So let's start with first, you can take any of the target. For example, we just search for a Google. We can write here google.com and hit enter, and let's see. So you can see a lot of information, right? For example, let's start with the first analysis. Google.com has 4 name server, 5 mail addresses, 23 IP numbers or IP addresses, right? Google name servers, they have the name servers like ns1.google.com. It has 4 name servers. You can also find out from the analysis part. And then we have a Google mail server, right? From how the Google exchange the emails, right? What kind of mail servers that Google uses. So these are the mail server you guys can see on the screen as well. So this is also helpful for an attacker to gather more information about any target. And this one is also important, that you guys can see there are some of the IP addresses which may be in IPv6 or IPv4. So both the IP addresses are included in this IP number list. And here you guys can see a lot of IP addresses. On the basis of these IP addresses, when you perform any of the black box testing, you can also perform, or you can also target these IP addresses to gather more information about the target, right? So this is just a quick info, you can just see here. So this is the registry and the domain name and some of the IP addresses that already you can see on in your this information, right? So these are the name server. These are basically the DNS records, name server, mail exchanger, right? So these are DNS records. And here again the same kind of information here. Yeah, but these are the this is a tab for the records, from where you can see a lot of information like the IP addresses, route, that how it generates the traffic, like this is a BGP, that is border gateway protocol is there, right? So here you can see the location as well, and the ptr is basically a pointer which is a reverse DNS. So you guys can also see with the IPv6 address. So there is a lot of information you can see here, right? And here the next tab is for the SEO, that is search engine optimization. You can also see information related to that, how it ranking, how it rank for a google.com, right? So here some of the keywords you can also see on the screen. And right, so there are some of the information related to URI. So URI is basically this is indicator, right? Universal resource indicator. So here this one is the indicator basically, and this one is your URL, right? So first one is the URL, the other part is the URI. So you can directly see what are the URIs present in the google.com. So you don't need to perform much enumeration on this, but you have to just open the robtext.com and you can see what are the URIs present in the google.com, right? So you can perform this particular way to your target. Here another information, there are some information related to the files like apt notes. You can see here these are the PDF that are present in the target. Here you guys can see. So there are a lot of information, and so these are some of the shared information, shared host names and some of the IP addresses. You can see the using mail servers, PTRs are there. CNAME is basically a canonical name like facebook.com and fb.com. So these are the same thing. So that's why it's just a CNAME is a canonical name, or we can say alias as well. So these are the IP numbers information, Google name servers. So a lot of information for just for a single attacker. He can do a lot of things. Subdomains, host name, it has also identified this thing. Siblings are also there, right? So so this is the information that the robtax has found, and you can also click any of the part and you just go to that section, right? History like this, SEO, records, whatever you want. So this is the one part, and the next we have who dot is. You can just write here who dot is and hit enter. Again you have to just write here google.com and hit enter, and this is the information that you guys can identify. This is first of all registrar information. So this is related to all your registration, and you can see here the information related the registrar info, important dates, right? Expiry, register, update on, right? Again, then we have a name server information. I already told you that Google has the 4 name servers, and you guys can see with their IP addresses, right? So this one is also information related to the DNS records, and you just go to DNS records, and here you guys can see the multiple information like the SOS service, start of authority. This is the start of authority, and this is the address of the start of authority, name servers. You guys can see mail exchanger. Again the things, again the same thing that you guys can do with the who dot is, right? And then we have the next is the netcraft. So you can just write here netcraft and hit enter. You can see here internet research, or you can just click on the link, and here in the below section you guys can see what that running. You can just write here the target like google.com and hit okay. You have to just paste a full URL like this. Oh, here let's see the report, site report. So here is a lot of information. You guys can see the background of the application, right? That is primary language, that date first seen, description, all these things. And the network tab, you can see the Netblock owner, who is the Netblock owner of the Google, you can see, and the hosting company IP address 4v6 reverse DNS, right? So a lot of information. Again, the lot of information you can identify through the netcraft as well as. So these are the it will also contain the list of the countries that from where this application hosted, right? So here you guys can see the information, and this is the geographical way where through which you guys can see the information related to the target, right? And this is also the information related to SSL TLS related information. So it contains some of the certificate information as well, that is the certificates valid or not. So you guys can see all the information from here, like there is some of the subject alternative name of Google you can see here. So this will also help sometime. And the serial number, you guys can see the hashing algorithm, you can also see the public key hash also here, certificate hash. So the certificate transparency, you can also see the information about the logs and certificates, right? So this one is the attack, like this is SSL attack, SSL v3 attack, which is a poodle attack. So it tells you that the site is not vulnerable to the poodle attack, so, and the heartbleed attack. So you can also see this kind of information for target. SSL certificate chain, you can also see what the SSL certificate chain here, a lot of information, and the hosting history with the IP addresses, right? So I think this one is also a lot of information for an attack, right? So web browsing targeting is also there, like whatever technologies that use access protection is enabled to protect the cross-site scripting attack. So in my upcoming session, I will also uh, discuss or perform the attacks like cross-site scripting, SQL injection attacks. So I'll discuss all these attacks in my upcoming sessions. So a lot of information you can find out through this website as well. And the next we have, like there is a what web. So let's go to my Kali Linux that is installed in my VirtualBox. So here I have to enter with my username and password, and the tool name was what web. So you can just write what web and hit enter. You guys can the uh, see the help of what web, that what are the commands and the switches that we can use with what web to identify the information. So this there are some examples that you can see, like whatwebexample.com. So you have to just write here what web and your target, right, and hit enter. Now again it will give you some of the some result, like that the country where the host is placed, HTTP server name, right, IP addresses name, if you see here in the screen the below, redirection location of the website, explain option, header. So there are a lot of information. Again, it will helpful for you. So you can, if you want to see in a full description of all this information, you can just write here -v, which is a verbosity, right? So here in this way you can see the information that what are the headers that it contains, like we have the XX protection is there, right, explain option is there, and server name you can also say GWS. And this is about some of the headers. Again you can see the information, this is the information with the IP addresses and the country name, right? So this is the working of what web. You can use this tool as well for information gathering. And then we have a tool that is Webalizer. So Webalizer is also one of the popular extension which is used for the enumeration, right? And here this is the website. This is basically for the testing purpose. So here again I go to this particular add-on and see the information like editor, operating system, the version name, right, and the programming language. So this information is enough for me or an attacker to gather more about the application or perform or to find out the exploits or vulnerability on the basis of these versions. So sometimes there are a lot of information that will be helpful for the attacker. So how you can install this and where from where you can install this add-on? You can just go to extensions and you can find out. You can just search for the webalizer and you will definitely identify this add-on and add this add-on in your web browser. Again, the web developer, this will also use for the cookie enumeration information. So I will discuss about this in my some of our upcoming session, so wait for that, right? So this is all about the information gathering for a domain or a website, right? There are a lot of things. If one thing you can also do, you can just go for OSINT. Again, the same thing, OSINT, and you can you can just write here OSINT framework and go to that website. So when you want to search the information like this, you can just click on the domain name and here the whois records, and these are the tools that is used for the information of any target, like any website, any domain, right, any IP address. So it will help you to identify the information. Like we have like command line tools, also we have ns lookup is there. You can also identify the information through ns lookup, right? So guys, this is the information of the domains, and thank you guys. I hope you will like my session, and if you like my session, please subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon for my upcoming sessions.